Hey, Brian Manning here. Welcome to a news edition of the Garden Report as training camp nears and the Celtics maintain one open roster spot, one standard contract rather. Austin Rivers emerges as a possibility to fill it. He said within the past week or two here, he spoke to Brad Stevens and the Celtics about an opportunity. He said it was a good conversation appearing on Bill Simmons' podcast, though nothing appears imminent for now on that front. He said he's also holding out for the Damian Lillard trade if that opens up multiple roster spots on the Heat. He could join them as well. Rivers, a long veteran who actually did appear on the Celtics roster during the 2015 season. Remember that flurry of felt like dozens of trades Danny Ainge made between the first 2 years of that rebuild. Rivers came in that Jeff Green deal before the Celtics sent him to Los Angeles, where he played for his father, Doc. He's had some solid seasons in the NBA, particularly shooting the ball. Quick stint with Denver after the trade deadline, shot 37.5% from three in 2021. His last great year. The last two seasons, more of an end-of-the-bench role guy, defensive specialist who can knock down a three, shot 35% with Minnesota last year. Not quite a dead-eye shooter, though. He's had some stronger seasons from three, especially those Clippers years. He intrigued me as an end-of-the-roster option. Again, this isn't a guy who's going to make a massive impact no matter who it is on the roster, and I'm sure many fans would like to see a prospect end up there. Again, I was high on the Neemias Queta signing in that sense, and keeping a roster spot open leaves the door open for a Blake Griffin return if that ends up returning to a possibility, though for now it doesn't seem like it is. Trade options, 2-for-1s down the line are possible if you keep that roster spot open, as well as seeing who gets waived on other rosters going into the season, which is another thing I think many NBA teams are doing right now, including the Celtics, rosters like the Thunder, where multiple players could be waived or traded or whatever it might be to get the roster down to 15. That'll come later next month. So, don't see the Celtics signing Rivers in the near term here, but a guy who, if you listen to this interview, is willing to play one night, not play the next, come in and guard a John Morant for a stretch, and then sit down after 10 minutes. He understands where he's at in his career, which is important for the spot on the roster, I think. Guard, not necessarily a spot where the Celtics need help, but again, we'll see what happens with Malcolm Brogdon here into training camp. Peyton Pritchard still needs to prove himself after an uneven season where he didn't play as much. And of course, Delano Banton comes in on a non-guaranteed contract here. So they do have some depth at that guard spot, and they're going to play bigger this year in general. But that wouldn't be the worst spot to add a player. Jay Scrubb, of course, too, is going to try to fight for some time at that position. But I don't mind this one if that's the Celtics' decision in the end that they want to fill that last spot with a veteran who's been around, who's been in the playoffs. I think that's a good thing, even if this isn't quite Blake Griffin pedigree here. Rivers, again, family, his own career, sense a little bit of a tenacity with him, fight, willingness to tell it like it is. I like that all here. And if that's, again, where they want to go here, I'm all for it, though. As we always say, 15th spot on the roster, not an incredibly impactful roster addition, no matter who it ends up being here. So that's all for now on the Austin Rivers front. Of course, go over to fanduel.com, check them out. You get $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 right now. Go to fanduel.com/Boston. Thursday night football tonight, as well as all the spreads, same game parlays, player props, and futures available across the board for football going into week 3 now. Patriots an enticing line at the Jets entering a must-win game. I like that one quite a bit. 2.5 last I saw. Celtics still the championship favorites if you want to lay down on them. So go get $200 in bonus bets to do any of that. when you bet $5, just go to fanduel.com/Boston. Of course, 21 plus, present in Mass. First online real money wager. Only $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable. Bonus bets expire 7 days after receipt. Shout out as well to AG1. Go to AG1.com, drinkAG1.com, /garden, and get a year's supply of vitamin D, 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. When you go over there, try a subscription, you'll get some cool gear. We got the crew necks, we got the cups, glass vases to cover, to drink it out of. It's a scoop in that glass each morning with your water. It's going to give you a nice tropical flavor, first and foremost. It tastes great. And 75 vitamins, minerals, adaptogens, probiotics, and more for your health. It's a good time of year to get your immune system up. Gut health, a big, big one here with AG1. Get your digestive system going in the right direction, which is very important for, again, your physique and your overall mental and physical well-being. drinkag1.com/garden. Go check them out and get those 5 free travel packs. Know you'll be on the move this fall. Need those. And a year's supply of vitamin D, which is great as well. And check out our new sponsor here.
Wish you could navigate the betting field with the confidence of a pro? Enter Odds Are. They're not a sports book, but they're the sports betting advisor you always needed. It's like having a playbook for smarter bets right in your pocket. I've been absolutely loving the experience, and I think you will too, especially since Celtics All Access listeners get a 30-day free trial. Elevate your game day and join the smart betting revolution. Go get it at oddsr.com/Celtics. That's oddsr.com/Celtics.
Once again, Austin Rivers, talked to Brad Stevens, talked to the Celtics about a deal here. Nothing imminent, but guy worth keeping an eye on for that 15th roster spot into camp. Celtics have 2 available spots on their camp roster. You give out some non-guarantees, exhibit 10s to send guys to Maine, things of that like to fill that out, as opposed to filling that 15th roster spot with guaranteed money for now. I'm Bobby Manning. This has been the Garden Report News Edition, potentially a live version today, as we'll get into Malcolm Brogdon and some advancing reports on him. But again, subscribe, Celtics All Access, CLNS Media, to find out when we go live, as well as our Twitter handle at Celtics CLNS. Media Day looming. Less than 2 weeks from now. We'll see you then. And have a great day. Have a great rest of your week.